All right, so we got the moon in Scorpio at the moment. So this is a fall at the moment. This is the moon going to its fall at the moment, which means it's sleep here, which means it's in the process of not wanting to pretty much be too deeply caring and loving at the moment. I want to pretty much be deeply internally and separated at the moment. So of course, when it comes to the moon being in Scorpio, this is us reacting deeply towards a feeling the need to pretty much transform something inside of us, or transform something that we are reacting and responding to, or transforming ourselves wherever we pretty much got this constellation at. Now, the moon is pretty much waxing in Scorpio, so that means it's doing this waxation and it's going through the process, a 2-day process of pretty much planting seeds where Scorpio at, where it pretty much need to pretty much transform and change something for good or for worse. Now that's going to be pretty much be reflected on Sun and Libra, which is we're going to be reacting deeply towards our relationships and how we relate towards others. And we're pretty much going through some transformations during this time. Or pretty much we're going to be feeling the need to pretty much communicate about things deeply and express things deeply when it comes to our relationships and how we relate towards others. For me. Also, it could be some deaths during this phase. And there also could be some whole lot of jealousy, a whole lot of animosity, a whole lot of cheating, a whole lot of manipulation going on when it comes to our relating and relationships during this time. So you can be manipulated. You could be thrown off. You could get yourself out your body today if you're not aware of what's going on, and if you're in a situation of pretty much going through a transformation. Now, the moon in Scorpio is going to pretty much be semi-sextiling Libra, and it's going to be semi-sextiling Sagittarius. So that means we're going to be pretty much going through phases of relationships and experiences and transformations. So this is pretty much a 2-day stay down until you come up kind of energy. Don't express too much. Don't tell pretty much everyone what's going on. Whatever you got going on, you need to pretty much keep that hidden within inside yourself and go through that transformation behind the scenes, behind the unseens, and make sure that you're pretty much correlating and getting everything perfective. This way, when you pretty much go to that transformation stage, you'll be able to actually go through the expansion and go through the experiences. Now, with the moon being in Scorpio, you need to pretty much spend time being fixated and being passionate and determined and motivated, and also keeping your secrets hidden and concealed during this time. Don't tell everybody what you got going on. Because for me, because in that process, if you don't tell everybody what you got going on, you'll be able to actually expand, and you'll shoot your spaceship higher and not just shoot your shot. See, you may shoot your shot. You may want to shoot your shot, but you told somebody something. So your shot ain't going to pretty much go in that basket. It's going to get rejected because you didn't pretty much hold in on that secret. You didn't keep that secret sacred. You kept that secret unsacred. And the moon is Scorpio. Now you got a few days to pretty much stay down until you come up when it comes to your desires, your passions, your motives. And also, being that the South Node is in Scorpio at the moment, you're going to be basically manifesting and, of course, reacting and responding towards deep things that you had attachments to, and deep ways of feeling about things when it comes to your feelings and emotions. And you may basically talk too much about it or communicate about this with yourself and your feelings and emotions. But make sure that whatever you're doing and whatever you're going through during this time, make sure you're doing it privately and behind the scenes. Now we're going to basically get into the houses world affairs, and we're going to pretty much break it down on how these aspects is going to basically be affecting you. Now, if you have Scorpio in your first house, you're going to be placed into a circumstance and a situation of reacting and responding deeply towards your personal ways of dealing with your feelings and emotions and how you personally feel about others within your personal life. Now, you're going to get opposed by Uranus in Taurus and North Node in Taurus, aka people, places, and things that's going to pretty much be coming and breaking obstacles, or you're going to be basically pushing obstacles towards these people and these individuals. And these obstacles may basically be unjustifications about how you feel about them or how they feel about you, depending on how y'all relationships and how y'all correlating things are being pretty much put on the front for us. Now, what you pretty much need to do is you need to go ahead and, of course, use your relationships and relate towards others, but make sure whatever you got going on privately, you don't express too much, and of course you don't relate too much towards others, because others may basically not have you in your best interest. So you want to pretty much conceal and keep these things hidden, and pretty much, feed baby steps before you pretty much go out there and express it, and of course relating too much. Now, also, where the area and location that you're going to pretty much go through some ups and downs, and some debilitations and some self-doubts, is going to basically be your fourth house, your home, family, and associations. That's pretty much going to be the area and location where you can pretty much self-doubt yourself during that time. Now, if you got this in your second house, you're pretty much a Libra ascendant. So you're going to be placed into a circumstance and situation of reacting deeply towards what you can grab, feel, hear, smell, and touch and feel when it comes to your ways of dealing with your feelings and emotions, about how you deeply value things and how people deeply value you. What you pretty much need to be doing is reacting privately and deeply towards the things you value and appreciate. The better you can pretty much stay down until you come up, the better you'll be able to actually go to the cycle of third house, being fulfilled when it comes to expressing your ways of feeling and seeing about things when it comes to your way of thinking and communicating when the moon gets into Sagittarius. But you're pretty much dictating, decide how that's going to be processed during these few days. Now, what you pretty much need to be doing is pretty much taking your time, having patience, and staying down until you come up when it comes to your way of practicalizing how you feel about things. And you're going to be basically manifesting oppositions when it comes to your 8th house, privacy. This is going to pretty much be a 180. So you're going to be basically dealing with a full moon when it comes to your house in this correlation. Yeah, so with the moon and Scorpio in your 2nd house, you're going to be pretty much reacting deeply towards previous things you valued and how others previously valued you. And also, you're going to go through some ups and downs when it comes to your romance and love affairs. So pretty much don't self-doubt these things, and don't pretty much go to the extremes in these things. Watch how you can manifest these things. And now your oppositions and your obstacles are going to be coming towards areas and locations of secret people, places, and things that you have deeper attachments with or desires with. Now, if you have the moon and Scorpio in your 3rd house, you are a Virgo ascendant. So that means you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of reacting deeply towards your way of thinking, communicating, and sharing ideas with your environment, your surroundings, and of course the people, places, and things that's within it. You're going to go through a transformation in that area and location. So either you take power and control over that area and location of your environment, your surroundings, or someone or something is going to transform you out of that situation. Now, your oppositions and your obstacles is going to be pretty much coming from your 9th house, which is your experiences and your beliefs, things that you spend time with believing or being clingy towards too. Now, the areas and locations that you can pretty much witness a fall is going to basically be your 6th house, aka your health, your routines, and things that you pretty much do on a day-to-day basis. You're going to go through some ups and downs in that area and location. So try not to allow these things to pretty much overwhelm you or put you into situations or categories of pretty much going to the extremes. And the better you pretty much do that, the better you'll be at. Now, in your 3rd house, you're going to be pretty much dealing with past ghosts, past demons, aka friends and siblings and neighbors that can be past demons that's going to pop back up within your environment and your surroundings or your thinking patterns. So be aware of that. Now, if you got Scorpio in your 4th house, see, the 4th house falls in Scorpio. So it's kind of like you're going to be pretty much manifesting a whole lot of wear and tear when it comes to your home, family, and privacy, depending on how you are deeply rooted and deeply connected towards these individuals. So you're going to pretty much reacting deeply towards home, family, privacy, or you're going to go through a transformation dealing with home, family, and privacy during this time. Things that make you comfortable, things that you're familiar with. You're going to go through a deep transformation area. Now, you're going to manifest oppositions and obstacles towards statuses and careers and businesses that you spend your time with, or with individuals that's going to pretty much pop back up and, of course, be your downfall or your upfall, depending on how you allow these energies to pretty much process and, of course, get to you. Now, the areas that you're going to pretty much be manifesting self-doubt or ups and downs are going to basically be your 7th house, your relationships, how you relate and correlate with others, and your associations when it comes to your relationships. Now, if you got the moon and Scorpio in your 5th house, you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of pretty much reacting deeply towards your creativities, your expressions, your romance, your hobbies, and, of course, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Now, your oppositions and your obstacles is going to come towards people, places, and things that you spend your time associating yourself with. Now, you're also going to pretty much go through some ups and downs and some falls when it comes to your 8th house, your privacy, or your sexual desires and things that matter. So be careful who you have. When it comes to that moon and Scorpio in your 5th house, in your 5th house is going to pretty much be that fall. Now, you're going to go through a learning process. So that means you need to learn how to react deeply towards your creativities, your expressions, and, of course, things that make you feel comfortable with entertainment, fun, and, of course, enjoyment or your children. Now, you're going to manifest relationships and obstacles from your relationships that you spend time with. Now, also, if you have the moon and Scorpio in your 6th house, you're going to be pretty much placed into a circumstance situation of feeling the need to react deeply towards your work, your health, your routines, or pretty much transform these things for good or for worse, or either take power, control over these things, and of course don't allow your work or your health or your routines to pretty much take power, control over you. So that pretty much you need to stand your ground in that situation. Now, also, you're going to be dealing with past ways of feeling deeply about your work, health, and routines that's going to pretty much pop back, or you may basically transform or get rid of something or lose something when it comes to your work, health, and routines and things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Now, you're going to manifest some oppositions or obstacles that you spend time with when it comes to your dreams, imagination, of course, your inner world. These, watch out, your dreams and imagination. Make sure you're in the right process, in the right situation. Pretty much, being comfortable tonight before you go to sleep, because you want to make sure that you're gonna have dreams that's gonna oppose you. Either you're gonna oppose yourself in your dreams. So pretty much your dreams is about you. So whatever you got going on in your dreamland, that's gonna be about you. And also, you're also gonna be placed into a circumstance situation of going through some ups and downs when it comes to your ninth house, aka your experiences, or your moralities, or areas and locations that you put beliefs in faith in, or you may have self-doubts when it comes to your experiences and traveling through the mind or the body or in physical. Now when it comes to this moon and Scorpio in the 7th house, you're going to be placed into a circus. Now it's opposition here because you're a Taurus ascendant, so by default you're going to be manifesting oppositions, obstacles, so you're going to be the op. So pretty much in this house right here, you need to pretty much react deeply towards transforming your relationships and how you relate towards others, and transforming the balance and the equilibrium that's pretty much being justified or shared between your relationships and who you relate with or what you associate and, of course, relate yourself with. Now, you could be your worst enemy, which is going to basically be the obstacle or the opposition that you spend your time with. Your personality will be very opposite during this time. Now, the areas and locations that can make and break you, and the areas and locations that you're going to have self-doubt, is going to be your status, your career, your goals, and you being the face of something. So be aware of that. Now, if you have the moon and Scorpio in your 8th house, its home is comfortable here. So by default, you're Aries ascendant. So that means you're going to have the power and control to react deeply towards transforming your privacies, your private areas, or what you privately got going on with private individuals that you have deeper connections with. Now, the obstacles that you're going to be basically manifesting is going to basically be your 2nd house, the things you value and appreciate, love, and conquer. Now, you're also going to pretty much go through some ups and downs when it comes to your 11th house, your associations, of course, your friends, or you may have self-doubts in the areas and location. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the moon and Scorpio being in your 9th house, you're going to be pretty much reacting deeply towards your experiences, traveling, meanings, reasonings, purposes, and also you're going to be pretty much manifesting situations of pretty much reacting deeply towards these past experiences that you had with these. You need to transform your experiences of what you believe in, or it's going to transform you. Now, you're going to manifest oppositions and obstacles from your environment and the things in the areas that's in your environment that you spend time with, duplicating or relating with. Also, you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of having self-doubts when it comes to your dreams, your imaginations, and your fantasies, and your illusions of what you believe in. So yeah, be aware of that. Now, if you have the moon and Scorpio in your 10th house, it's kind of like exalted in this house right here, so it's going to pretty much be the status what Aquarius ascendant, if I ain't mistaken. So if you have the moon and Scorpio in your 10th house, you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of reacting deeply or feeling the need to pretty much react deeply towards your transforming past circumstance situations or current situations dealing with your status, career, goals, or business. Now, you're going to be manifesting situations and circumstance situations of obstacles or dealing with home and family or people, places, and things that you spend time building with or call a home and family. Now, the areas and location that you may basically self-doubt is going to could be yourself. So be aware of that. You may have some self-doubts about yourself during this time. So be aware of that. And that's going to be correlated towards your personal life and what you personally got going on. Now, if you have the moon and Scorpio in your 11th house, this is actually a square right here. So you pretty much, what you need to be doing is learning how to react deeply and privately towards transforming what you are associating yourself with and who you're associating yourself with, or you will basically manifest it from others. Now, your oppositions, your obstacles is going to come towards areas and locations of your hobbies and romance and love affairs, of course, creative endeavors that you spend time with. You're also going to pretty much be placed into a circumstance situation of having self-doubts when it comes to the things you value and, of course, areas and locations that you're building, of course, growing on. And you're going to be manifesting past demons or past desires dealing with your associations. And last but not least, if you have the moon and Scorpio in your 12th house, you're going to be pretty much reacting deeply towards dreams, imaginations, and fantasies and illusions, or past dreams, imaginations, and fantasies and illusions that you had when it comes to your dreams and your images and your beliefs and your experiences. Now, you're going to be manifesting oppositions and obstacles from your 6th house, your work, your health, your routines that you spend your time with, and health endeavors or diets and stuff of that nature. So you may be placed into a situation of pretty much having some obstacles that may basically block you during this time when it comes to your dreams or schedulings or routines and things of that nature. Now, the areas of location that you're going to self-doubt yourself or manifest self-doubt is going to be from your friends, your environments, your surroundings, your siblings, your neighbors, or your mind, or your way of thinking and communicating and sharing things. you may self-doubt yourself in that area and location. So the better you can clear that up, the better you can pretty much move forward.